Morning students, now we will see module 2. So under module 2 it is going to be divided into two parts. First is your active filters and second half is going to be about your DC voltage regulators. Now we will see about your active filters. So under active filters we will be seeing about your low pass, high pass, band pass and your all pass filters there. So first we will see the definition for your active filters. Your active filter is nothing but it is a frequency selective circuit where it is going to pass a specified band of frequency and attenuate or block a specified band of frequencies there. So here in this case we say that your filter is nothing but a frequency selective circuit which is going to pass a specified band of frequencies and attenuate a set of frequencies outside the pass band there. So the set of frequencies which your filter is going to allow is called as pass band, and the set of frequency which your filters is going to block or attenuate is called as stop band. So now basically your filters can be classified as your analog or digital filter, passive or active filter, audio or radio frequency filter. So here first we will see the classification, your analog filters. So your analog filters, basically your analog filters are going to be designed to process the analog signals there. So whatever is going to be the analog signal we are going to use, that analog signal can be directly fed to the analog filter and we can get the output from the analog filter there. Next is your digital filter. Digital filter is nothing but what we are going to do is your signal, whatever signal we are going to take, that signal is going to be in the form of analog signal, and that analog signal should be converted into a digital signal using your digital techniques. So by applying your digital techniques, your analog signal will be converted to digital signal and then it will be passed to your digital filters there. So here that is called as your digital filters. Next is your passive filters. So passive filters means it is going to your filter is going to be constructed only with passive components, that is your resistor, capacitor and inductor there. Next is your active filters. So active filters means it is going to consist of your active components. Your active components can be either your transistors and your op amps, in addition to your resistors and capacitors which you are going to use in your circuit. So your active filters, it consists of transistors and operational amplifiers in addition to your resistors and capacitors. So next is your RC filters. So RC filters, mainly where we will be using your RC filter is for your audio or low frequency operation. We will be using your RC filters there. Next is your LC or crystal filter. So LC or crystal filter is whenever I am going to go for your RF or higher frequencies, in that case I will be using the LC filters or I will be using the crystal filters there. So what is the advantage of going for your crystal filters is, the crystal filters is going to have a high Q value, that is the high quality factor. So high quality factor means in that case the crystal will provide a stable operation even at higher frequencies. So we say that your crystals filters are going to be used at high frequencies because it is going to have a high Q value, quality factor value, and it is going to be more stable at higher frequencies there. And next is the audio frequencies. So in your audio frequencies, if you are going to see, we will not be using inductors. So why we are not going to use your inductors is, when I am going to use an inductor, your inductor at lower frequency. So here in this case, your inductors is going to have a small amount of resistance there. So here in this case, when I am going to pass a current through the inductor, current will dissipate. That is your a flux will be formed in the inductor and this will emit the magnetic fields there. And this magnetic field will affect the operation of the circuit. And on this other condition is it is going to be very large at audio frequencies there. So audio frequencies, you know that the frequency is going to be from 20 Hz to 20 kHz there. So when I am going to use the inductors at those frequencies, the inductors is going to have a small amount of resistance to be present along with that. So in that case what will happen is your size of the inductors will be very large and it will be very costly. And also because of the small amount of resistance that is going to be involved with the inductor, it is going to dissipate more power there. And we say that because when I am going to pass a current through this inductor, a flux will be developed across the inductor which is also going to emit your magnetic fields. So because of these disadvantages, we will not be using inductors in your audio, inductors at audio frequency range there. So next is we are going to see your active filter advantages. So active filter advantages is, one is the gain and frequency adjustment flexibility. So here in this case, gain and frequency adjustment flexibility is we will be able to provide a necessary gain. So whatever gain we want to design for the filter, that gain can be provided with the components what you are going to connect to the circuit, and the input signal is not going to be attenuated for a passive filter there. Here in this case, your active filter, it is easier to tune as well as it is to adjust there. So your active filters, and I am going to use based on the components which I am going to connect in the circuit. It is easier to tune the circuit or adjust for the required gain for the circuit there. And next is your next advantage is no loading problem. No loading problem is, since you know that the operational amplifier, the input terminals of your operational amplifier is going to have a high input resistance. Since it is going to have high input resistance, it is not, the input terminals of your operational amplifier will not draw any current. So in that case, it will be no loading of the source. Your source can be either an voltage source or it can be a current source there. And similarly at the output side, if I am going to see, your output is going to have a low output, the op-amp is going to have a low output resistance. So when it is going to have a low output resistance, it means that the current is going to be more. So when the current is going to be more, it can drive a number of devices. So to the output, I can connect a number of devices, and this output current of your operational amplifier can drive the number of output devices there. So we say that there is going to be no loading problem because of high input resistance and low output resistance there. So in your active filter, your source, I can use either a voltage source or I can use a current source there. And load, I can use any one of the devices, output devices, your LEDs or LCDs or whatever output devices. If I want, I can connect it, it can drive it, because your output resistance is going to be very low in the case of your operational amplifier. As a result, current is going to be very high. Third advantage is cost of the active filters is going to be economical. That is, it is going to be cheaper compared with the passive filters. So if I am going to see your operational amplifier, your op-amp 741, approximately the cost is going to be around 12 rupees. That is going to be very cheap compared to that of your passive filters there. So in active filters, we will not be using your inductors. So the size of the circuit is also going to be less. That is, the complexity is also going to be less, and as well as the cost wise also your active filters are going to be more economical when I am going to compare it with your passive filters. So your applications where we can use your op-amp is in your communication and your signal processing applications, I can use it, and in your radio, TV, telephone radar applications, your space satellites and biomedical equipments, in all those places I can use your operational amplifiers there. So under that, this one is filter types. So filter types, there are basically 5 different categories of your filter types. One is your low pass filter, second one is your high pass filter, third one is your band pass filter, fourth one is your band reject, and fifth one is your all pass filter. So first we will be studying about the low pass filter there. So low pass filter, what it is going to do is, the name itself tells low pass. Low pass means it is going to allow the low range of frequencies. So till the cutoff frequency, your filter will allow those frequencies, and once the cutoff frequency is reached, it is going to attenuate the frequency signals there. So when it is going to attenuate those frequencies or block those frequencies, those range of frequencies are going to be called as stop band, and here we can see that this is going to be called as the pass band. So this is the frequency response of your low pass filter. So we are going to plot gain versus your frequency. So FH is nothing but the cutoff frequency of the low pass filter. So the cutoff frequency of the low pass filter, your till this cutoff frequency, your filter will allow the range of frequencies, and where the range of frequencies which the filter is going to be allowed is going to be called as pass band, and the range of frequencies which the filter is going to block or attenuate, we call it as stop band. So for an ideal response at cutoff frequency, straight away it will come to 0. But in practical conditions, because of the RC components, we will not be getting exactly 0 at the cutoff frequency. Slowly my gain will reduce there. So here in this case, when the gain is going to reduce for the first order filter, the gain is going to have a slope of minus 20 dB per decade, because the gain is decreasing. So decreasing means my slope is going to be minus 20 dB per decade. That is your low pass filter. Next is high pass filter. So high pass filter is it is going to allow, the name itself tells high pass. High pass means it is going to allow the frequencies above the cutoff frequency. So you can see that this is a cutoff frequency. Above the cutoff frequency, my filter is going to allow. That means that I am going to have a constant gain to be present. And the range of frequencies above the cutoff frequency is going to be called as your pass band, because your filter is going to allow those frequencies there. And next is, when the frequencies below the cutoff frequency is not going to be allowed, or it is going to be blocked or attenuated. So we call those band as stop band. Next filter is your band pass. So band passes, it is going to allow, as the name itself tells, it is your range, allow the band of frequencies. So band of frequencies means from FL to FH. From the lower cutoff frequency to the upper cutoff frequency, my filter will allow this range of frequencies. So this is going to be called as your pass band. So during this period, my gain is going to be constant. So here in this case, the range of frequencies over which your filter is going to allow is going to be called as pass band, and the range of frequencies above which your filter is not allowing is going to be called as a stop band. So here we are going to have above FH, my filter will not allow, so we call it a stop band. Below FL, my filter will not allow, that is called as stop band there. So here in this case, this is going to be this dotted lines represent the ideal response. So ideal response is this range my filter will not allow. But in practical conditions, I will not be getting at exact FL only, my gain will not go constant. What will happen is slowly my gain will increase, and at one particular frequency my gain becomes constant. And then after a particular range of frequencies, my gain starts decreasing. So here the center frequency is going to be called that your center frequency FC. So here the maximum frequency is going to be called as your FC there. Next is band reject. So as the name tells, it is a band reject. We are going to reject a band of frequencies, that is from FL to FH. We are going to reject the band of frequencies there. So here in this case, this reject means this is the range which your filter is not going to allow. So we call that band to be stop band. And below FL your filter will allow, and above FH your filter will allow. So we call this as your pass band and this as your pass band. And next is your all pass filter. So all pass filter is nothing but you are going to have your all pass filter is going to allow the range of frequencies. All the input frequencies will be allowed by your all pass filter. But what is the difference is there is going to be a phase shift between the output and the input components, the input signal what we are going to receive. So here in this case, this is your V in signal and your V out signal. This is your filter is going to allow all the range of your input signal, but the output is going to be phase shifted by 90. So you can see that this is your output waveform. Output waveform is phase shifted by 90 degrees there. So that phase shift is going to be called as your phi. So here we say that there is going to be a phase shift between input and output voltages of an all pass filter. So this is about classification of the filters.